We are seeing that in this. Yeah. So good afternoon, everyone. Very warm welcome on behalf of Wolters Kluwer for this FHSLA webinar series. So this is our seventh series in this webinar series titled as Health Science Librarianship, Need for a Specialized Course. So today we have a list of panelists, and the presentation on Health Science Librarianship will be delivered by our esteemed Professor Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, who is Chairman, Helinet Review Committee and University Librarian for RGUHS. And today our moderator will be Dr. Raju Manasar. So I'm handing over to Manasar. So over to you. Sir, please unmute and talk. Sir, please unmute and talk.
Thank you, Dr. Dravid. First of all, namaste and hello, my dear friends. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all in this seventh webinar of FASLA, and would like to pay my sincere thanks to all of you for being virtually and heartily with us. Do you think the time has come where subject super specialties are required in the field of library science? And do you know when did medical librarianship came into existence? The research indicates that the development of medical libraries and librarianship is interlinked with the growth and development of medical literature, as well as with the development of medical institutions. The medical text of ancient Egyptian, namely Edwin Smith's surgical papyrus, is the oldest document which contains 48 cases of injuries, fractures, wounds, tumors, and dislocations date back to 1600 BC. The first evidence, that is clay tablets of Assyrian and Babylonian, which was found in 1849, shows the presence of medical libraries in ancient times. So now you can imagine how old the system of health sciences librarianship is. This webinar will put more light on the need of medical librarianship in the country, and with aim to encourage the institutions to start the specialized courses on health sciences librarianship. This webinar is being hosted under the aegis of Federation of Health Sciences Library Associations in collaboration with Karnataka Health Sciences Library Association, Karnataka Health Sciences Library Association, Gujarat, Rajasthani Medical Library Association, Rajasthan, and Wolters Kluwer, a leading medical publishing house of the world. So I'm Dr. Rajiv Manhas, and I will moderate today's session. I'm heading the university library at Baba Farid University of Health Sciences, Faridkot, Punjab. And hosting this session is really a wonderful moment for me. I'm happy to share that today we have Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, the keynote speaker of this webinar, who is a visionary and a great leader in the field of health sciences librarianship in the country, and he is from the university, which I think is the pioneer in starting the full-time courses in health sciences librarianship in the world. I must congratulate him for the same. Dr. Siddhamalaya is very good human being, and Dr. Rajiv Vashisht will put more light on his personality and his work at later stage. Now, I would like to request our president, Shri P.R. Minaji, who is the youngest and the most energetic leader of our profession, to welcome our speaker, our guest, and our participants. Over to you, Meena sir.
Thank you, sir. Manas sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I indeed feel honored to welcome you all in the FASLA webinar series 7. The FASLA is an organization to strengthen and promote medical and health education by enriching and revamping libraries. The FASLA Educate has decided to organize a series of webinars on important subjects of practical significance toward fulfilling its mission and achieving the goal of strengthening libraries. It is a really great occasion when various regional associations like HSLA, KSSLA are coming forward to collaborate and cooperate with FASLA. These associations are important constituent of FASLA, which is committed in enriching and strengthening library professionals. FASLA is consultation with HSLA and KSSLA decided to organize its 7th webinar on some innovative and futuristic topics. We have collectively, therefore, decided to hold an intensive discussion on health science librarianship need for specialized course. Hence, we have very consciously requested Dr. S.S. Siddhamalaya to enlighten and guide us in explaining importance of a specialized course and also designing such a course to be introduced in the Department of Library and Information Science. His experience and insight will prove a great strength to all the collaborating associations. Obviously, the webinar has been organized in collaboration with RMLA and HSLA, KSSLA. It is not one-time collaboration. We plan to extend it in organizing further academic and innovative activities. It is not merely collaboration between associations devoted to the cause of library and information science, but contribute to the broader objectives of social advancement. I am privileged to welcome the keynote speaker, Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, and express my sense of gratitude that he has agreed and spared his valuable time to encourage and enlighten us. Professor Karori Singh of South Asia Study Center is a constant source of strength to FASLA members who have high regard for him in guiding the FASLA activities. Though he is honorable member of FASLA. I formally welcome him on welcome of FASLA and also on my own behalf. The Walter Kluwer is an important partner in enriching the libraries through its service and technological inputs. I am grateful to the Walter Kluwer that it is a conscious about its social responsibilities of making the libraries and their users tech savvy by collaborating in this academic event. I am happy that it has willingly agreed to introduce its service during normal and emergency situations. My colleagues, Dr. Umesh, Dr. Ramesh Naik, and Dr. Prakasa of KSSLA, Dr. Rajesh Trivedi, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, Dr. Shamji Parmar, Dr. Sanjay Limbachia, Dr. Anjana Bairod of SSLA, and also member of Ramla and Hasla, Dr. Shiva Chidambaram, Dr. Harkor, Dr. Rajiv Manas, Dr. Rajiv Vasisht, Dr. Mili Vajpayee, Dr. Deepak Shukla, Dr. Neeraj Chauhan, Dr. Shobha Sharma, Dr. Ashok Garg, and other team members who are also taking keen interest in its activities regularly. Last but not the least, the participants who got registered for the participation are most valuable in the success of webinar. I extend my hearty welcome to them all and hope that the webinar will be great learning experience for all those who are consulting online library resources and also in the clinical field of medical and health sciences. Those who are participating will be awarded e-certificate for their participation at earliest. Thanking you, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Over to Dr. Manas.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your warm welcome and sharing your heartfelt feelings with our participants, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to request our most respectable teacher, guide, and advisor of FASLA, who is the stalwart and Professor Emeritus, Dr. And I humbly request him to introduce the Federation. Professor Kurori Singh, sir. Professor Kurori Singh, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
right.
Yeah. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon, friends and colleagues. Dr. Rajiv Manhas, keynote speaker in today's webinar, Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, chairman of HealthNet, my colleagues and friends in Khasla, Ramla, and Fasla. As my mandate is very, very limited, just to introduce the FASLA, how FASLA came into being. I have large number of friends in the health science, among the health science library professionals. And often we used to sit together and used to discuss. And they were, most of the members in the health science libraries, they are having a sort of grievance that they are not getting a proper service conditions at par with the normal university and institutional libraries. And their grievance was that if the engineering is a specialized field, their librarians are getting a good deal, good service conditions. Normal libraries, they are getting good conditions. Management sciences, they are getting different service conditions. So they used to say this sort of discrimination is there. So I told them, if we sit together and lament, it is not going to help. We should do something creative. And we discussed that one thing came up, that is there some association of the medical science library? Then they told there are some provincial and regional associations in some of the states, and there is also at the national level association. But nothing concrete has come up in regard to service conditions and in regard to Cinderella treatment to the library professionals in health sciences. Then one idea came from one side. They told we must have a trade union-like association. We should fight it better. Then I told it is not going to help much because the age of trade unionism is not effective these days. You should do something creative. And they asked, what should we do? Then I told them, why not we have a federation of health science libraries associations at the national level, and it may be connected with the international association, federation, and that can be helpful. And our mandate should not be only an advocacy for the health science library professionals. It must be to help the health science library professionals in their profession through the refresher, orientation courses, webinars, seminars, and build their capacity. A sort of capacity building program must be there. At the same time, we should also contribute to the library science and library and information science discipline as well. And in this direction, I think FASLA has made a sufficient progress during last 2.5 years. And now the different situation has come up all around the world, and that is a COVID-19 emergency. It has posed so many challenges before the library professionals in the health science. And the health science professionals and the library professionals, they were conferred by an important title by the society, that is the Corona Warriors. This is the title given by the society. It's not the formal legal title to the health science professionals and the health science library professionals, but this has been given by the society. And here one thing came into my mind, that conventionally for the defense and security, we had 3 commands like air, naval command, and for the land, the army. And thereafter, recently we have tried to raise in some of the countries like cyber security command, space security command. I think there must be some health security command. This is the challenge which has been posed by the COVID-19 emergency. So in future, there will be some kind of demand that there must be some health security command in every country, because this is posing a greater challenge than the wars and battles. So this demand may come. And when this demand will come, what can be the academic input? How the professionals, library professionals in the health science can be different from the normal institutional libraries, that is the challenge. Then we discussed that we cannot have a separate discipline like health science librarianship. Discipline cannot be raised because under UGC there are certain norms, certain rules through which we can recognize a particular field as a discipline. So this problem we also faced in area studies. I am associated with the area studies, and I do have an experience. In most of the normal institutional libraries, we have a different sections, area-specific sections, like South Asia collection, Southeast Asia collection. Similarly, within the health science library, there may be different sections related to different aspects, because medical sciences are highly specialized branches in medical sciences. So what it can be? Then one idea came into our mind that there must be some sort of specialized course within the departments of the library and information science. And while recruiting the personnel for the health science libraries, that specialization should be given a proper consideration, that should be given the weightage. As we have in the political science, like we have foreign policy specialization, political thought specialization, government and politics specialization. Similarly, in economics, we have agriculture specialization, international trade specialization. So similar kind of some specialization must be there within the library and information science department, and for which the course contents must be prepared, and FASLA must take a lead in preparing the course. Then we thought there must be some webinar on this aspect, who can be the speaker. And it was the Herculean task to find the speaker on the specialized and some innovative subject. It's very difficult to find a speaker. You can find a speaker on the stereotype of topics like the classroom teaching and like this. It was very, very difficult exercise. Ultimately, we could discover there is one scholar who can speak on this aspect, that is Dr. H.S. Siddham Malaya, the chairman of HealthNet. So he readily agreed to speak on in this webinar, and he may give some guidelines, some design of that type of specialized course, how we can have, how it can be viable in the within the university setup, within the departmental setups of the university. So, Doctor, I don't want to stay between the participants and the Dr. Siddha Malaya, because I don't want to anticipate what he will be speaking. That is not unfair on my part, but definitely he will give something innovative to us, and something, a sort of design kind of thing, which can be considered as a specialized course within the departments of library and information sciences in the university. Because the health science and the health and medical science is highly specialized and highly innovative kind of thing. And it is making more progress than engineering and the normal disciplinary arrangement in the university setup. And there I think the library plays an important. If we are having a sort of health security command, in that who can supply the arms and ammunition? And that can be from the library only. So the librarianship profession is far more important, those who are fighting for the security on the front line. Because on the background, they are providing all sort of infrastructure, all sort of backup through which the warriors can fight. So the profession is more important than comparing with other libraries, other specialized libraries. And even these days are some new concepts of libraries are coming up, like street library, career library, rural library. Even the archaeologists have their own libraries, the archival libraries. So many types of libraries are coming up. And all these libraries require a different type of specialization, because you cannot handle on the one way, on the one direction, like the normal library management. That may be relevant about, say, 20 years back or 30 years back. But today is the age of specialization. And in this specialized age, I think that there must be some kind of specialized course which can cover different aspects. Some of the aspects may be the common in all the library courses, but there are some of the aspects which are specific to a specific field, like health science, engineering, or management, or the archival kind of things. So while recruiting the faculty or recruiting personnel in the medical and health science libraries, I think that should be the consideration. Apart from that, as regards the service conditions of the library professionals in the health science, FASLA has already given representation to the Indian Council of Medical Science and the Department of Medical and Health, and Ministry of Medical and Health in the central government, in state governments. So apart from these innovative and all these creative courses, FASLA is also moving on the advocacy aspect as well. But that is not the primary. The primary concern is to build the capacity of library professionals in the field of medical and health science. Of course, persons from other branches, like the normal university library professions or the engineering, from there, anyone can join the FASLA or may participate in the FASLA webinars. But the primary concern is to build the capacity of the library professionals in medical and health science and keep them well versed in the latest developments. So the library concept is changing, everything is changing, and for that, we want the technical support, technical assistance, and for that, Walter Kluwer came forward to provide us a support and give the products which can be helpful in building the capacity. So with these words, I would like to thank all the associations which collaborated, and I am sure FASLA will be able to do more meaningful things in the future and make the innovative contribution in the field of health science libraries and in their management. With these words, I would like to thank the FASLA executive and all the collaborative associations and giving me this opportunity. And I assure all the members that whatever the capacity and understanding I do have, I'll always stand for FASLA, and I wish the FASLA will do better. With these words, thank you very much, sir. Right. Yes,
Sir,
Rajiv.
sir, thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights about health sciences librarianship and librarianship in general, along with FASLA and its activities with all of us. Health security command concept is really appreciable, sir. We agree that FASLA should lead in introducing special kind of courses which are required, I think, need of the hour. So now I would like to request Dr. Rajiv Vasishtha, convener of the webinar, to please tell us more about our today's keynote speaker, Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya. Dr. Rajiv Vasishtha.
Thank you, Dr. Rajiv Anas. Respected all dignitaries and the participants in this webinar. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, this task introducing our speaker is great privilege to me. So that opportunity given by our FASLA Executive Committee. So I highly thankful to all my team members and all the FASLA committee also. Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya did his Bachelor of Library and Information Science, Master of Library and Information Science, and PhD from Bangalore University. Now, Dr. Siddhamalaya is a chairman, HealthNet, Review Committee, and University Library also. Dr. Siddhamalaya started his career at IIM Bangalore, worked at Tata Consulting Engineer for a short period, and then at a MS Ramaiah Medical College for 4.5 years. And he's also joined NIMHANS in 1985 and served for 28 years. It is a big and great time also. He was also heading IT department, data center of NIMHANS. He coordinated the development of campus networking and developing hospital information system software. Now, it is a notable project by Dr. Siddhamalaya in 1989, worth at 75 lakhs. It is collectively from DST, DBT, ICMR, and NIC. In that project is purpose of developing National Neuroscience Information Center, published 3 major Indian journals on CD. In among them, Neurology India of that was published in CD-ROM in last 40 to 45 years back issues. It is a great achievement done by Dr. Siddhamalaya. He was president of KALA for one term and Karnataka Health Science Library Association also. Presently, he is president of Health Library Association of India. He conducted 3 national and 1 international seminars. Now, Dr. Siddhamalaya visited European countries and USA as an invited speaker also. Latest 2019 invited lecture at Singapore, Sri Lanka, and biomedical informatics on that. He was visiting professor of Mahasankaram University, Thailand since 2013 and visited other Asian countries also. He was 40 research article and book chapter, more than 100 invited talk on various aspects, publication to his credit. With this deep introduction, I hand over the session to Dr. H.S. Siddhimalaya. Thank you, sir. Dr. Siddhimalaya, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vashishta, for your kind words about the great personality we have today with us. I think more time is required to express him fully. Now it's my humble request to our guest speaker, Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, to enlighten us with his words of wisdom. Over to you, sir, please.
Hello.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay.
Welcome,
I am
sir.
audible? Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you. I have a list of people to thank you, so many people, and I thank for the nice introduction about me and the effort of, 1 second. First page, okay. This one, I'll just play this one, okay. So thank you all. Good afternoon. Actually,
Good afternoon.
I take this opportunity to meet many people from Federation of the Health Science Library Association and my colleagues and friends from KASLA and also the Walter Kluwers for organizing this and opportunity given to me in this webinar. Actually, I just want to share my experience all through in the Health Science Librarianship specialization course. Actually, this demand was there since about 30 years. It is not new, nothing new in this. But at that time, the changes were so fast and the people could not think of specialization than getting adopted to the changes from time to time. That was the scenario. But if I just want to remember, there were people were talking about why not a doctor be a health science librarian. And in fact, they tried. Dr. Chitale was first librarian of National Medical Library, if you remember. And that time it was just a functional building, collection, organization. Later, they developed many programs. And later I was part of the certificate course for Health Science Librarianship, NLM started. That was mainly concentrating on the field and terminology. I'm just focusing on the Health Science Librarianship. I'm not focusing on anything else other than this. So understanding the field, the terminology, to talk to doctors in a homogeneous language. They were trying their level best to make us to understand the field, make us to understand the terminology, make us to interact with the users in a comfortable way. Then they also have covered, there are so many tools, mesh, bibliographic tools, index medicine, indexing, all these things which was developed by NLM, National Library of Medicine, USA. And also they covered healthcare delivery systems in India and resource creation and curation. This was the brief thing. In 3 months, they could able to cover, and which really have created us as a health science librarians. That itself was a very good thing. Actually, All India Institute of Medical Science professors used to teach us anatomy, physiology, pathology, community medicine, and all that mapping was taught to us. And it was really triggered our interest in the health science librarianship. Next slide. So let us understand the general librarianship, because we have to draw many things from the general librarianship. That is the most important thing for our health science librarianship. At the inception, actually, the libraries, particularly health library collection, was personal libraries. And because almost all the practitioners, like advocate or doctors, they keep their personal libraries. That was the scenario of those particular. These libraries evolved and became a scientific institutions in the 17th to 19th century, concentrated on correction and curation in various media. Slowly, we have developed many tools, we have standardized, we adopted the standards, we also defined many roles for physical collection and be part of the education, how to be getting integrated ourselves into these outreach and evaluation, everything. We have said only the physical media were so well, and libraries were becoming the hub of the whole campus. That was the feeling. And when we were standardized everything. Later, in the modern age, we also were the front runner for the adopting the information technology. And there we did library automation, we created many databases, we created union catalog, many things. So on, we have developed using the information technology also. Later, libraries were evolved as digital libraries, concentrated on digitization and curation, but that is a shift again. We were curing the print media. Later, we started digitization and curation, all the print. Again, we started setting the tools for digital libraries. We set the tool, technology, service, and protocol standardizations, everything we again. In the digital technology, we started the same thing, we developed it. Then comes the paradigm shift and disruption. Actually, this was a real breaking point for librarians. Actually, this paradigm shift, all the content, tools, technology moved from physical to web space. And search engine like Google taken over all the things. And Google became the first point of search for all the users. Neither the user or the collection is in our control. Neither is the traditional tool or digital tool are useful. So everything is online. So now see these three paradigms, first physical, then to digital, now onto web space. So we developed all through. We developed the tools, we developed the technology, we standardized, we defined our role, we started serving the information. And the main 5 points, collection, curation, and then consolidation, dissemination, and archiving. This part in all the media, in various media, in between this microfiche, microfilm, so many things came, but still the libraries were sustained to develop the expertise in almost all of this. Then what next? Everything has gone to web now. There is no library for us. So then we started thinking about funny thing, this techno-cultural shift. We started thinking about, okay, let us imagine a library without a books. What will happen? Librarian without a physical library, what will happen? Now, because everything is on the web, and why do we think that we have everything with us and we are having a library, we are going to have the, see, that is how we started thinking about the future development. Library without books, library without physical library. Is it possible? Or are we getting into the profession where we can practice directly? So after the Google, people started talking about depth of libraries, and then information is not exclusive domain of librarian. Everybody's actually digital media people, computer science people started covering more on digital libraries than the librarians themselves. They started working very fast, and they started developing the digital libraries on the web space. So it is slowly taken away from us to the web space. Are we still sustained?
Dr. Siddha, sir, your voice is not coming, sir. Dr. Siddha? Sir, your voice is not coming. all the participants are requested to be with us as some issue in Dr. Siddha Malai sir's system. So all are requested to be with us. Some network problem is there. So be with us. Yes, sir. Dr. Siddha? Yes, sir. You are audible. Yeah,
now?
yeah, you are audible now, sir.
Okay. Should I start from the beginning?
Yeah, no, not at all. I think you should have to continue from there.
From here, or should I have to start from the?
Yeah, from here you can start.
Okay.
Because just we missed only one slide, I think so, not more than that.
Okay. So after the Google thing came and people started talking, librarians were not exclusive for the information domain. And actually every digital people started developing their expertise in this, and digital libraries are taken away from us. And the Google generation were not bothered about the traditional library. In the recent past, about 6 months, COSLA annual seminar, we had an interaction with we had one culture. The first session is going to be the doctor's librarian interaction program. We usually want to know what they expect from us. Are we what they expect from the librarians, and librarians want to know what we have to deliver to them. In that context, we asked them, do you need a physical library? They said, no, we don't need a physical library. We want only ebooks, and we want, and also there we found that books and journals are not the material they are looking for. They are becoming a raw material for students. They want course material. They want multimedia material. They want all this MOOCs material. There are so many course material they want. They don't want to read full big book. And in examination point of view, their feeling is correct. So that is how that change has been happening in this environment. We also know that the growth of literature is very fast, and thousands of databases, hundreds of tools and technology. There is a big, but people are getting confused where to start, how to start, where to go, and how to search. And also, even as a librarians, we are feeling, okay, what is that we are in the electronic environment? How do we go about? There are so many business models. There are so many licensing terms. There are so many, the process of negotiation itself is changing. Buying is not just a book. Buying is not just a content. We are buying a content, we are buying the time, we are buying the number of user number, we are buying the copyright, we are buying every aspect, every factor. When you are negotiating a licensing, we have many factors in this. So keeping all this thing in view, this expertise is also becoming important for this one. So actually we are not bothered about the change. We are facing the change, but the speed of change is a challenge. By the time we catch up about digital, we catch up about the web, it is changing. Next one will come. So that is how the speed is going. That speed itself is a challenge for us. And that is where we are struggling. That is why, and we have seen many changes. And it is a high time that inevitable to think about domain-based activity to technology. Because we don't have any back-end work. We don't have cataloging, we don't have a classification, we don't have a shelving, we don't have a circulation, nothing is there. Nothing inside the building. There is, see, nothing in the library server also. We don't have anything on the, even on our library web space. Everything in a publisher space. And that is why I used to call library with no wall, no firewall. We don't need a firewall also because of our server doesn't have anything. And we don't need a wall because we are not inside the building. So everything is open. Now, what should we do? What is the next? So that is why now it is called as a front-end librarianship. We are getting into we have to become a part of a healthcare team. We have to work as a biomedical database specialist. We have to serve as a faculty member in evidence-based medicine course, because in the evidence-based systematic reviews, 50% of the job is librarian's job. They have to identify a suitable database, they have to do the search logic, they have to conduct a search, and they have to give the gold standards, how to do it, how to review it, how to use it. So that is how we are now becoming a part of the evidence-based or systematic review courses. And actually, that is where we are having a very strong base. When we come to the consumers or a patient, health literacy is becoming a part of our job. Because functional health literacy and community partnership is also becoming our job. And the core job is also becoming important. Even during the print days also, there was a move that the community education people and the popular health information system has to be developed parallelly with the doctors. That was the standard that was moving on. So we librarian have to move to the front end. There is nothing to do sitting inside or back end. So now we have to become a clinical part of a clinical team. Hospital grand round. See, this clinical medical librarianship is nothing new in that. It has been there even during the print days. And librarians used to go along with the doctors in a grand round. They used to collect the atypical case reports and the requirement. They used to collect the difficulties of the doctors in identifying the problems of the patients, and they used to come back and they used to search the literature using bibliographical databases and then give it to doctors with a full text. That is how identifying the point of care literature was there even during those particular print days. Then we also become part of educational team, and we also join the classroom alongside, supplying our course material, multimedia material, and we become part of the interactive program in the classroom also. And more important nowadays in the health science field is library is becoming the center for peer tutoring. Senior students teaching the junior students. But in that context, library as a place is becoming important than the collection, than even the technology, than even the access. So that is how the pressure has been built up. The skills demand from a health science user is becoming more and more. Now, that is why the specialization. In the general medical librarianship, all these things, digitization part we get, and we get a literature, we got the culture, we got the functions, we got the building, we got everything. But domain-based pressure is not there at all. See, we have to align with the domain. That domain, we have to get along with the literature growth. So we used to discuss about many things like, is this health science field or any other field developed with a more of research or what? Not just more research. There are so much of research in applied and pure science and many things even at the consumer point. Actually, the growth of any field is due to the consolidation of literature, identifying the gap, mapping of literature, finding out the gap of the research. That is where actually this management done by the librarians, consolidation done by the librarian, databases created by the librarian, gaps identified by the librarian. Even now, to identify a proper topic of research, they come to library. They are not going to guides. Actually, librarians are playing a very good role in identifying the topic, in doing a research, in also conducting along the research also. Along with the researchers, librarian works more. And later, all this research, converting translation research, translation all the research into the practice, into the policy, into the healthcare products, it is becoming more important. So there it is a collective work. Actually, the literature search and research is going hand in hand. It is side by side, two sides of the same coin. Actually, whenever we do a literature search, we also analyze the topic. We also prepare the focused question. We also prepare the terminologies out of that where the proximity is derived. So that kind of health science research support we are giving. Actually, librarians are well trained in that, giving an authentic information. When that being the case, there are so many other, in this case, in this context, I just want to mention, we have these consortia called Helinet. That Helinet we now remodeled as a Center for Health Informatics. So looking at the literature, looking at our role, we have prepared and upgraded Helinet into the Center for Health Informatics, where we have 5 divisions. First division is Learning and Teaching division, which is supported by a smart classroom, multimedia materials, the integrated teaching material, also creating and curating of learning and teaching material is done. That particular division has got many. We have derived how to go about. Next is research support system, including tools, technology, and other things. Next one is clinical information system and point of care services also have been started. The point of care and point of need services is also started there. And next one is going to be the author support system. We also, author, why should they waste their time in defining what pattern is required, what is the style sheet they required, what are the references model they are going to use it. And there are so many Grammarly and so many tools and technology have been evolved for this author support system. In that context, particularly looking at this evolving genomic, proteomic, and the system biology, gene expression, genome bank, all these things are already a part of the this National Library of Medicine, which is already disseminated. And metabolic network is also part of this. So we are now just, we are thinking more about books and journals, e-books or a print book or whatever it may be. But actually, that importance has gone. Books and journals are the raw materials. We can't survive if we stick to that. That is why the specialization of health science librarianship is required. So we have rapid pace of discovery, volume of data is more, complexity of tool. So it is not just, we are providing access to some literature. We have to filter that information, suits to that need, specific need of that user. We can't go on just, okay, we have purchased some e-books, e-journals and so many things, and we have provided remote access, we have provided IP access, we have provided this access. That is a job of anybody. So all these technologies can do. And actually the expertise of librarians is in filtering that information and bringing that content to the context. We have to bring to the context. We have to integrate that content into the activity itself. If somebody is searching, facing a difficulty at the point of care, we have to integrate the related information to them. Already products are there, like clinical key, up to date, and then there is one from EBSCO. So I forget that name, I forgot. There are so many point of care tools and point of care medicine products are also coming. And more than that, librarians are the best to filter the information when we are supporting the, preparing the systematic reviews. So that being the case, just acquiring and disseminating does not help. That is what I said, point of care and point of need. These two are our most important support and being the partner of the team. If we don't train our librarians into this, but how to train? Okay, Professor Singh was asking about, okay, how I have some design. Yes, I have a design. It is not possible to cover within that 40 minutes. I am now sensitizing how difficult is, how different of health science librarianship is from the general librarianship. Actually, gray matter for health science librarianship is more required than the other librarians. And these health science librarians get more queries from anybody. any other libraries, because day in and day out, doctors at least comes out with, those who are sitting in OPD, comes out with 5 to 10 questions. They get 5 to 10 doubts. Earlier, they used to search on their own, they used to search in their books, and they used to discuss with seniors. Now, it's not the case. We have so many products and services we are providing to the clinicians. So we are supposed to answer all the questions. We are supposed to get literature for all those things. At the point of care, immediately, we can't delay. So that should be our expertise, that should be our strength. And see, that is what I have said. There are some concepts already have been changed. Librarians are now called as, medical librarians are called as informationist, bioinformationist, clinical informationist, clinical librarian, and clinical medical librarian, embedded clinical librarian, specialist. So many concepts of the research informationist. So we have to analyze, evaluate. See, in the Google, everybody, we are commenting, okay, that Google gives a junk. Then what are we? When we are finding out the problem of Google, then we have to give a solution. Now, Google has set a trend in such a way that we are going to give a Google feel. We have to give a Google experience. At the same time, we have to give the authentic information. How do we do it? Is it, we can't depend on some discovery tool, okay, we bought on some discovery tool from somebody and it is going to work. No, librarian himself is a discovery tool. Librarian has to use the cluster of many resources, many search engines, and give the Google experience. What is that Google experience? Google has got one single box. You type whatever you want, it gives you some information in a single result. And of course, nobody goes more than one screen or two screens. But can we give that experience in our library as a discovery tool? That is where the challenge is. That challenge requires a specialized training. And we need to know the domain. We need to know about the user's information seeking behavior. We need to have an exposure to the clinical settings. We need to exposure to the education. We need to exposure to the multimedia material which they are using, what they use it. We need to exposure to the preparation about how they prepare for the examination. All activity from student to the specialist, we have to be part of that. We need an exposure, but that exposure, that clap between the user and the librarian is not happening. We have been struggling, we have been trying to build that relationship with the user. Until and unless they make the librarian as a part of an academia, part of a research, part of a clinical activity, part of their scholarly communication, we cannot know. Librarian knows everything about the information landscape, everything about the technology landscape, but we do not know the user landscape, what they want, what they don't want, how they want, where they want. All these things, that particular clap is not happening. Once that happens, librarians are ready to do it, and librarians are really intelligent when compared to that. See, librarian is a really leader in the whole campus of the health science field or any field. Librarians are playing a leadership role in all the things. But that clap, if the user accepts it in that clap. But of course, it is not to say they are in the ivory tower, they think that they know everything, but they never come to the library and ask for it. Until and unless there's reciprocation, that relationship happens, it is not going to, whatever may be specialization that we, but when we use it as a formal course, as a specialized training, it happens. It will go, it will happen. So now, just to sensitizing this, I hope, I don't know whether I have exceeded my time or whatever may be the case, but I am going to tell you that in spite of many paradigms, from print to digital, digital to web, and now it is to the clinical environment and specialization, there are so many things, so many odds, so many constraints, so many negligence from the user field. Still, librarians, medical librarians, or health science librarians, it is not really medical librarian, now it is health science librarians. We are having our own stand, our own specialization. That is why in our Center for Health Informatics, we started a course called Master Degree in Health Informatics and Master Degree in Bioinformatics. Because health informatics we define as domain plus information plus technology. Put together, these three domain put together is going to be, our course is an MS Health Informatics. And we also have proposed a PG diploma for working librarians to expose to all this culture. And one more course is Electronic Health Records Management is one other course that we have proposed in our Center for Health Informatics, because this information gamut and information landscape is very well known to the librarian when compared to others. But we ourselves do not know how best we are placed if we want to take a leadership. What are the big opportunities that we already have, if at all we interact with? So that is a gap, that is our self-esteem need to be enlightened. If self-esteem is enlightened, really we get on and we do a much better things. So there are so many, we also can be a part of instruction design. We also can be a part of this face-to-face and online learning approaches. We can evaluate information and promote the development of health informations by at the point of scholarly communication also. And we also can achieve a common goal at the point of classroom also. There are so many opportunities, there are so many avenues, there are so many expertise that we can apply in and day out activity of the hospital, day in and day out academia, day in out of this particular research, everywhere. But opportunity, acceptance from the other side is very less. And with this, I already explained without running my slide, and there are so many technologies that we have to again use. The big data is there, learning analytics is there, 3D printing is heavily used in the health science field, virtual reality is also very well used. Flipped classroom is one of the things which is used very highly in our biomedical sciences and health universities and even the medical colleges. Now, the smart classroom itself is becoming a big library. And classroom recordings also, we are going to host it onto our server. We are now recording everything, whichever the classrooms it has got. It has got administrative things. It also can control who has taught, who is not teaching, who is doing well, who is not, and whichever is the best. But we can't just give it to the users, because in the health science, quality and authentication of information is more important than the information itself. That is why it is to be authenticated, peer-reviewed. Any piece of information in health science has to be peer-reviewed, reviewed by the others, and it has to be checked for authentication. Then only we can give it to users. These are the things. There is a big need for specialization. And as Professor has asked, we have designed a course considering into 4 core areas. Domain, as I explained you, the health science certificate in health science, it was giving a good picture about the domain, healthcare system, healthcare delivery system of whole of India, and what is happening, what is not happening. And then the field, then the tools. At that time, it was a print tools. Now it is a technology and tools, and then many guides. So these are the things which are needed. Now, the back-end things, which tools were giving has gone. Now we are going for a front-end librarianship. Front-end, we have to work with the team. That is how this is evolved. I hope I could able to translate my experience into you, and I can give glimpse of what the health specialization of health science librarianship is. And I could able to sensitize, but detailed design needs minimum 2 hours to present. That goes for the next one. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you so much, and for your highly informative presentation. And I hope everyone enjoyed this visionary inputs. And definitely there may be some questions which some participants may have, and we have one separate session for the same. And this session definitely enhanced the level of knowledge of our participants at the next level of excellence, and hope these suggestions, what I made to say, will help to develop a roadmap to start special programs on health sciences librarianship. And I would like to share with all of you that at our university, that is at Baba Free University of Health Sciences, we started a postgraduate diploma in health sciences librarianship with the support of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, with your university in 2010. And that course was really excellent, and we got good response from the people, and such kind of courses should be started at mm, different institutions at different level. So now it's the time, and I would like to request the presenter from Walter School to share their demonstration, please. So today's platform and technical support is provided by the Bolter Schoolover. And so thanking you, the whole team, and it is over to team Volter Schoolover, please. Volter Schoolover. Is there anyone from Volter Schoolover side?
Mr. Ashwini Singh is the today's person.
Yes, Ashwini, please.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are.
Yes.
Can you see my slide?
Yeah. It
Hello. Yeah.
it is visible. Ashwini, please carry on.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Sorry, participants are requested to mute yourself, please. All the participants. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Siddhamalaya. I think your presentation is always very informative. At the same time, whenever I attend FASLA meet, I am able to enrich myself with a lot of learnings. So I'm sure for the entire library community, but not just that, even for us as professionals, there are a lot of learning. So Mr. Meena, Dr. Rajiv, okay, Dr. Harkaur, I think all of you are doing a great job. I would just like to, take 5 minutes to go through what is the offerings from our side, wherein we can, come together and make a difference in terms of, the enriched content for the users. So I'll continue with my presentation. So what is Wolters Kluwer? Wolters Kluwer is having around 20,000 employees globally with 40 countries in operation and more than 5 billion in revenue as of now. We have various divisions. I represent the health division. I take care of COVID business. We have health and legal and regulatory, tax and accounting, governance, and all those other stuff also. So in Umbrella Health Division, we represent the HLRP team. HLRP team, the platform which we have is Ovid. I think we are more familiarly known to be Ovid team. And I'm pretty happy to be known for the Ovid team because we have a great number of offerings. So I would just like to take you through a few of that. So at every step, we are present with you, right from MBBS to post-graduation to, senior residency, super specialization. At every point of time, we have the right kind of content. We have anatomy content, we have ebooks, we have so many products which we can give as an offering at all the level of journey of MBBS to, post-graduation to super specialist doctor. So if I talk about, we are very comprehensive. We are having more than 300 exclusive LWW journals, and we have more than 1,400 ebooks, which are exclusive LWW. However, what we can offer is much more than that. In journals, we can offer close to 1,500 journals because Wolters Kluwer as a company, we operate as an aggregator as well. At the same time, for ebooks, we can offer more than 5,500 ebooks, which is having depth and breadth in the content. We have 10,700 plus resources, and we also can provide access to 460 plus MedNow journals, which are open access, but we can integrate it all together, and then the user experience will be much, much better when they access through Ovid. So if I talk about a global presence, we have presence more than 12,500 institutions worldwide in 186 countries. Talking about the team, we have more than 150 sales managers actively promoting the products, 60 plus support teams, and our support team is well recognized at the same time, one of the best, and they have gained a lot of accolades and recognition worldwide. We have 40 global offices. We operate in other languages also, like 21 other languages. So if I talk about the society partnerships, you name the top societies and they are partnering with us. We have 80 plus society partnerships with 111 society titles and 150 plus sponsorships, partnerships in terms of third party content which we can provide. So overall, I think Ovid Medline is very popular because the sort of experience which is there in Ovid Medline is not there in the other Medlines. So we have more than 132 million Ovid sessions per year globally. And also if you see the journal content, you name it the subject area, we have one of the top journals available in those subject areas. We talk about anesthesiology, cardiology, orthopedics, neurology, nursing. So we have a very rich content, and our impact factor of the journals is pretty notable. If I talk about it, it will take a lot of time. So I would like to just go through the presentation fast. Yeah. So talking about some collections which we have specifically, we have a LWW Total Access collection, which is now having 305 journals with impact factors, and in 15 subject areas we have the leading journals like circulations, anal surgery, then anesthesiology and things like that. Also, we can provide good content from the third party publishers also, like Wiley, Elsevier, BMA. And now we have one of the world's most influential journal, that's New England Journal of Medicine, also on the platform. So this is a very interesting slide. If we see the slide, in all the subject areas, right from the UG subject areas to the super specializations, we do have a lot of ebooks. And if somebody just takes a glimpse of the entire content which we have, it's very, very comprehensive, right from anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, microbiology, in the subject area, it's all there. So we have a good collection of ebooks also to cater to the entire medical education. Dr. Siddamalaya was talking about discovery, and I think, though it requires a lot of expertise from the library side also, but from the platform standpoint, we have Ovid Discovery, which is having, I think, it's one of the best in terms of providing the mesh enabled terms, controlled vocabulary and all those things. So all the search areas is very precise. At the same time, there are various parameters of the search areas which can be looked into, like you want to search relevance wise, you want to search topic wise, then advanced search is there, then pico search is there. So you name it, everything is there. But I agree to the fact that all the utilization is very, very important of the resources. At the same time, any of the resources available at the library and to make it impactful, to make it reach to the user, I think a search platform is very, very important. And there is a lot of customization possible with Ovid Discovery. I think you can just customize probably everything into it. So we can talk more about that, and one of my sales reps can obviously be reached and then can discuss more. In the interest of time, I'm just moving to the other slides. We also have Health Library Collection. So what is Health Library Collection? Health Library Collection is segregated content of ebooks into subject areas, which will be having the textbooks as well as the reference book put together. At the same time, it will be having searchability. At the same time, there are a lot of videos. At the same time, there are a lot of case collections, and there are quizzes also inbuilt in it. So when you take a health library, you take entire collection which will be there, and students will be having access to best of the best titles. So whether you talk about anatomy science collection, basic science collection, basic and anatomical premium collections, so all those collections are available. So pharmacological collection, and then for the anatomy, we have visible body. I think in these times where students are not able to reach to the medical colleges, there are a lot of issues. Cadaver is an issue, so we have visible body. In that, the major aspect of this platform is that student will be able to see a lot of stuff and do virtual dissections. At the same time, we offer a lot of premium packages on the anatomy module, where there is, the systems, the 3D model, the animations, the quizzes. So I think when we see the platform, it will be very, very impactful. But this is probably one of the need of the hour. Plus, this application is available on mobile and on Android and iPad, all the apps, platforms. We can, take it forward. So in the interest of time, I'm not going through each and every, modules of it. Like we have anatomy atlas, then we have anatomy and physiology in that, then we have muscles premium, skeletal premium. So a lot of iterations and a lot of improvement, which gives 6,000 plus views of anatomical structures, hundreds of animations, okay, more than 1,000 question and answers. So everything is embedded. I think when we do the demo that time, we'll be able to, understand it much better. Then we have Ackland's anatomy. Okay, in Ackland's anatomy, I think everyone knows Dr. Robert Ackland. Okay, Dr. Robert Ackland is one of the pioneer in study of anatomy. At the same time, what he has done, he has made 332, top quality videos which are narrated, and the body parts have been systematically divided into, upper extremity, lower extremity, trunk area, and a lot of other areas. At the same time, very complex, organ structures like the internal ear, okay, are also, very, very easily and effectively explained by means of that. Plus, the video are on the real cadaver, and there is a lot of, technology which is applied to it. So the color of it, the feel of it, and everything is, precise. The quality of the video is impeccable. So this is also one more tool, which is, I think, the need of the hour in today's time, where there are a lot of limitations of people to come and study. So students are not able to study actively in the classroom. So this is also one platform which we have. These are some of the images which, in the interest of time, I am not running through. So thank you so much for patient listening. And we are very much available with you. Our sales reps are there in practically every region. We have Dinesh Rawat, who is covering South. We have Renu, who is covering North. Then we have Chandrasekhar, who is covering West region, plus a lot of, strategic accounts and the bigger, consortium kind of accounts with us. At the same time, we have Joydeep Datta, who is taking care of East business. So we have a full team, and we have Dr. Dravidan Ambedkar. We are very fortunate to have him in our team, wherein from the medical side also, we get a lot of tips and tricks. Okay, what to do, how we can offer the best possible contents to our partners who are the librarians and the DNB coordinators and the hospitals. So thank you so much, sir, for giving me an opportunity to present. And it is such a pleasure and such a learning whenever I'm able to log in and attend to any FASTLA event. So thanks a lot. Over to you, Rajiv, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. And we really want to say that you have, within a short span, you have very elaboratively expressed each and everything about your content. Now, I would like to request our General Secretary, Madam Dr. Har Kaur, for question and answer round. Over to you, Dr. Har Kaur, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Manhas. And good afternoon, Dr. Siddamalaya.
Good afternoon.
You are again welcome to answer the questions.
Okay.
Actually, when I was listening to you, sir, I recalled one of the, I can say, awkward moment of my life. Best awkward, you can say. It was happened when I appeared for the interview in this medical college, like 8 years back. At that time, the interviewer, the director of the college, he was very famous for his strictness. And I almost answered 90% of the questions he asked. And when I was about to leave, he called me back and he asked me, can you tell me the subject which are being taught in medical field? I was kind of blank. So I answered him. I don't know how it came to my mind. I just said medicine. He says, what is medicine? We are taking medicine. Is it a subject or what? So I was again blank. Then he said, do you have kids? At that time I had 2 kids. I said, yes, sir, I have 2 kids. How old they are? I said, one is 4 year and one is 4 months. And you know, he asked me in Punjabi, but I will not say that language. He asked me, where did you deliver? I said, one in PG and one in a private hospital. At that time there was private nursing home. Then he said, you didn't read anything there? I said, no, because at that time there were not a good, you know, big hospitals and no signboards were there. We just used to go to a community dispensary or a private doctor. So I said, no. So he says, pata hai wo gynae department hunda. We say gynecology. I said, yes. Then she says, where did you go for vaccination? I said, because we have heard that language at that time, ki bachchiyan da doctor. In Punjabi, we say bachchiyan da doctor. He says, that is pediatric department. I shared this incident because 27 years back, after interview, I thought that there should be some speciality when you go for medical or some specific field. So what we are discussing today, I felt that time like 27 years back. So this was the incident I recalled when I was hearing like there should be.
So you have to talk the homogeneous language with the users.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Now we have questions for you, sir. Somebody's asked how many on average are getting job on the basis of the specialized courses?
It's a difficult question. Actually, though you have a specialization in health science librarians, there are no takers. If the choice is given in Karnataka, they are ready to go to first grade college. As Professor Singh said, the scale there is very good. Here, the job is good. There, the scale is good. And if the choice is given, nobody comes to health science library. It is a difficult question to say how many get specialized course. It's difficult. And health science librarianship is good. Health science librarians are not really positioned well and not given a good scale in all the places. So even now struggling is going on, and that's why it is difficult to say. But if the specialization comes, we can demand the equation with the medical community. We also know about it. If we come to the rescue of the doctors and if we can establish homogeneity with them, I think it is possible.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And then somebody is asking who will teach this course, a librarian or a health professional?
Actually, it is a cluster of 4 people. One is a health informatics person, one is bioinformatics person, and some from biomedical sciences, and 2 from the library science. Actually, technology, this is a cluster of technology, domain science, and then informatics. That means application of technology in context of information services and also domain of the landscape of information, health information. And there is some tools called PACS, picture archival system. There are some medical record systems. There are so many other systems which comes within the health information landscape. That is why it is going to be a different breed of outcome. It is not just a traditional librarians. We wanted to bring active librarians who can participate in the activity of the whole information landscape of health science. That's why we've taken different faculty.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. And then somebody is asking some technical question, that is, how do we manage health information considering data security and privacy?
It is depending on all the time I have been. See, one thing I told you, no wall, no firewall. Nothing is with us. Everything is in the server of the respective publishers, respective product owners. We don't own anything. We don't keep anything. If at all you want to do the in-house created information, we are uploading onto this space or digital library. That is how we are storing. If at all you ask for a publisher information, we don't. If at all you want to archive also, there are different tools are there. How do you archive?
Thank you, sir. And next question is, do we have some specialized courses in online mode from any university?
So far, to the best of my knowledge, no.
We don't. Thank you very much, sir. I don't have any more
There are
questions.
some two questions. Where is the where do we store images and
Yes, yes,
reports
that-
and other things? Actually, radiology images and all, there is a system called PACS, PACS, Picture Archival Communication System, which has been using since decades. It is already system is on the, they are being used very well.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I think 2-3 more questions are they are technology based, not related to library science.
Okay.
So thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to
Thank
Dr.
you.
Manhas.
Thank you, Dr. Harkar, for wonderfully start this session with your story, and done it very efficiently by taking care of time. So, and also thanking Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya for chairing this session and answers the queries of our participants. Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Umesha, Secretary, Karnataka Health Sciences Library Association, to present the vote of thanks. Dr. Umesha, over to you, sir.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Honorable dignitaries and dear participant, on behalf of Federation of Health Science Library Association, Karnataka Health Science Library Association, Rajasthan Medical Library Association, Rajasthan Health Science Library Association, and in collaboration with Holter and Clover in India, I feel immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I express my sincere gratitude, Speaker Dr. H.S. Siddhamalaya, Chairman Elenate Review Committee, and University Librarian, Rajiv Gandhi University Health Science, Karnataka, President of KHSLA, for informative talk. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to especially express my deep regards and gratitude to Mr. P.R. Meena, President, FHSLA, and Professor Karori Singh, Advisor, FSSLE, organized this webinar session. And also thanks to Walter Clover team and associated with us for the success and their nice presentation. A special thanks to FHSLE Webinar Series 7 organizing team, Rajiv Manas, Ramesh Nayak, Dr. Ramesh Nayak, and Dr. Hara Kaur, Secretary FHSLA, and coordinators Deepak Shukla and Dr. Rajesh H. Trivedi, Dr. Rajiv Vasishta, Dr. Prakash, to their continuous support and encourage to organize this event. My deep sense of appreciation and thanks to all the participants who choose to be live with us and attend the webinar made it successful event. Have a wonderful day. Thank you one and all. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Umesha.
Thank you very much, sir.
I thank you one and all for making this webinar a great success. And we will definitely meet you soon in the next webinar, and would like to say bye and take care, please. Thank you one and all present here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you one and all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you one and all.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you one and all.